Six Sports High School Football Kickoff Show. Broadcasting live from Johnstown, State College, and Hollidaysburg. High school football starts here.
These are the sights and sounds of another high school football season getting set to kick off here in western and central Pennsylvania. It's the best time of the year, and we thank the Greater Johnstown Band for helping us kick off our coverage this evening. Good evening and welcome to Johnstown High School. I'm Jordan Canigliaro, and for the third year in a row, we have a full hour of live coverage as we take you up to the brand new high school football season, which all kicks off this Friday evening. Now, we have a lot to get to, a lot of ground to cover. Over the next hour, I'll be joined by two of our Six Sports team members. Brett Hilbrand is in Hollidaysburg. Kerry Yosef is in State College, and we're going to preview every team in our region, and we'll also have some special guests, coaches, players, bands, and cheerleaders as we get you set for the brand new season. There's not a better place to start than with the team that has become a perennial powerhouse in Pennsylvania. Winning a fourth straight PIAA state title will not come easy, but don't bet against Bishop Guilfoyle. What a run it's been for Bishop Guilfoyle High School. The 2016 season finished with the Marauders capturing their third straight PIAA championship with a dominating win over Pittsburgh rival Clairton.
I've been around football my whole life. This is a dream run. And you know all dreams have to come to an end and all streaks come to an end. So we try to enjoy it.
After each of their state title runs, Justin Wheeler's team has faced its challenges. And each time, starting with the 2015 campaign, they've responded. The obstacle this season will be maintaining their incredibly high level of play after losing 5 players to the Division I college ranks.
A lot of people are saying that we lost a lot of guys, which we did, but we still have 6 returning starters that have experience. And we have a lot of other guys that have played in a lot of games, so I think that's going to help us this year.
This team reminds me of the 2015 team. We lost a ton of starters, 3-year starters, and guys going on to play college football, and everyone said, yeah, they'll be good, but not as good as years past. And so that's really it. You know, people in Altoona in the area, you guys will be good, but will you really be ever as good as you've been? And so we're taking that a little bit with us.
Continuing an unbeaten streak of 47 straight games and winning a fourth straight state title will not come easy, and this Altoona team will have its doubters. But one thing is certain with this squad, they welcome the challenge. And Bishop Guilfoyle will be one of the teams we are featuring this season in our McDonald's Friday Night Rivals broadcast. We brought you 5 live games a year ago. This fall, we're doubling our efforts with 10 live broadcasts on Friday nights. Let's take a look at our lineup, and it is a great one. It starts off with the Backyard Brawl. Tyrone and Bellwood Annis coming to you this Friday night. That game kicks off our slate of McDonald's Friday Night Rivals games, and we'll take you from August all the way through October, and you can watch our coverage on our MeTV station, and you can also go to our Facebook page to find out where you can find MeTV. Time now to visit with our friends in Hollidaysburg. The Tigers, after playing for many years in the WPIAL, are now playing as an independent team, and Brett Hilbrand is there with the Tigers this evening in Hollidaysburg. He kicks off our coverage with them this evening. Good evening, Brett.
Hi, Jordan. Hi, everyone at home. Welcome to Hollidaysburg, home of the Golden Tigers, and we're going to talk to them here in just a minute. Talking about their 2016 campaign, which ended 1 win short of a district championship. The Hollidaysburg Tigers, Golden Tigers, following in that 6-8-10 title game, which obviously leaving them some extra motivation coming into 2017. It's the second year Hollidaysburg will play as an independent school. Their first opponent this season is a team that we'll talk to a little bit later in the broadcast, Central, the Scarlet Dragons. Tigers return about half of their starters on each side of the football. Certainly another trip to the playoffs, the goal for them again this season. And we're back here now with head coach Homer Delatry, and then we have Michael Day, Trevor Miller here as well. Coach, just kind of take me through this team, your motivations this year. How excited are you guys just to kind of get out there and get things going?
Well, since the last game at the end of last year, we lost in the championship, the district regional championship to Meadville. We were right back in the weight room and with a lot of focus, a lot of great attendance. I think the program has grown over the last year. We had a number of guys who have experience coming back this year. Last year we had to replace 10 starters at this time last year. It was very difficult to sort things out. This year I think the team overall has more confidence because of a lot of returning starters, especially in the offensive line.
You guys obviously have a little bit of stability with 6 guys kind of coming back on each side of the football. How big is that for you to be able to kind of grow and take a step each year?
Yeah, I think it's off-season development. I mean, off-season development and guys will be willing to put the time in the off-season to continue to grow the program. This being the 5th year here, seeing more quality every year and a stronger team and a stronger foundation.
Now, from a player standpoint, what's it like for you guys knowing that it's your senior year? You got to kind of take over the reins of the leadership. What are some of the things that you guys do to make sure that this team kind of keeps trending in the right direction?
We kind of keep everyone focused and focus on the game, so we know what's going on in practice and the game plan and everything. So we're ready for Friday night and ready to get the win.
Very good. Now, obviously, you have a pretty tough opponent right off the bat, week 1. Take me through your emotions when you're right about to step out on the field Friday night. What's that moment like for you?
Well, they beat us pretty bad last year, and a lot of guys took it at the heart. A lot of guys returning, and they want to get out there and just have a great time and hit them hard.
Now, obviously, you guys want to be able to take a next step, maybe go, win a playoff game, make a nice postseason run. What do you guys have to do you think, as players, to kind of go out and make sure that you're able to take care of business during the regular season and then maybe peak at the right time come playoffs?
Well, everyone's have to be focused. I mean, we have hard practices all the time. Like Tuesday and Wednesdays are our hardest practice. We just got to be focused every day at practice.
Hollidaysburg, obviously, Jordan, playing in the whip wheel for a very long time, independent now, but they know what it takes to play a really high-level football, and they're really going to be fired up and ready to go here in just a few weeks, or a few days, I should say, under the Friday Night Lights. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Brett. And coming up, we're going to spend some time with the State College Little Lions, the defending champs of the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. As we head to break, let's listen in to the Hollidaysburg Marching Band. The 2017 Six Sports Kickoff Special continues after this. McCourt cheerleading squad for joining us this evening. Catch them all season long on the McCourt sidelines. Time now to take a look at State College, one of the top teams from a year ago, and they have some big-time playmakers back. For more on the Little Lions, we'll send it to State High with Carrie Osef. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Jordan. Yeah, when we talk about State High football, we're talking about big offensive plays, big defensive plays, a lot of talent and a lot of depth. And those are the elements that led State High to another successful season last year under head coach Matt Lintel, nearly going undefeated in the regular season until the sole loss of the regular season at home. But State High still finished 10-2 on the year, earning another Mid-Penn Conference title and making a run in state playoffs. Their PIAA push ended in a close one against Williamsport, and they may have lost some key playmakers to graduation, but the Little Lions still look to bring back another prolific offense and get players prepared to shut things down on defense in hopes of another chance to reach the state tournament. And when I talked about this success, I brought up head coach Matt Lintel, and that's the 2016 Mid-Penn Coach of the Year. This will be his 4th year with the Little Lions. So, Coach, when we look at this team, we know a lot of key losses happened during graduation, but what can you say about the guys returning this year?
Really excited. We've had a lot of hard-working kids throughout this offseason. Kids have spent a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time playing other sports, and we're really, really excited for the coming season.
And we got those conference titles and we got some playoff runs, but I know you're probably itching for maybe that state championship, but what do you think is that next thing you guys want to go after this season?
One day at a time. We want to get 1% better every day. You know, that's really what we want to do. We want to make sure that we improve every day, and we want to win the Mid-Penn Conference again. We want to win the district regional championship again, and we feel like if we do those two things, we'll have a shot at that state championship, and that's the dream for sure.
Absolutely. And another good shot for you guys is going to be your players. So I'm going to step over here. We're going to start with lineman Jackson Heasley, one of the captains, another Mid-Penn All-Star. But I got to ask you, Jackson, it always starts up front, right, with a good explosive offense. So what can you say about your line this year?
You know, I think both our offensive line and defensive line, what separates us from the rest is we give 100% effort every play. We're relentless, and also we're one of the more conditioned lines in the state. I think, you know, a lot of guys playing both ways on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, I think that's what separates us. So.
And then we have the jack of all trades next to you, another mid-pin all-star, Brandon Clark. So I forget all your positions, but we got receiver, we got defensive back, we got tight end, and we got punter. But when you look at the guys around you, Brandon, what makes this team so special to maybe get them that chance to the state championship?
I've played with this team for a long time, and I think this team works the hardest out of everything. And obviously we've been together for a long time, so we always like to goof around and have fun at practice, but we always make sure to get things done.
Yeah, and I've seen these guys. This is a really fun team. State High is always having fun. They're always dancing. I'm not going to put them on the spot right now. But, Jordan, that's it for me right now at State College. I'm going to toss it back to you.
Thank you, Carrie. They should be exciting to watch this season. Coming up, we're going to talk some Lower Highlands Conference football action. We'll visit with two teams, including the team that plays right here, the Greater Johnstown Trojans. Stay with us. Thank the State College cheerleading squad for being with us this evening. You can catch them all season long at Memorial Field in State College. Time now to talk some Lower Highlands Conference football action, and one of the teams joining me now is Greater Johnstown High. The Trojans certainly lost a lot of firepower from last season. Head coach Tony Penna Jr. Tony, tell me how your program is able to kind of reload and not miss a beat heading into this season.
Well, we really have a real good bunch of seniors coming back this year, work really hard, and they've been with us, you know, the last couple years, and they the ups and the downs and the highs and lows, and came in here hungry and really working hard, and we're just very fortunate to have that group to rely on, and with some nice young kids added to them, it ends up being a pretty special group again.
And senior quarterback Austin Barber with me. Austin, you gained some valuable experience last year as a junior. How will that help you when the new season kicks off?
Coming up this new season, it's going to help me a lot. Looking at the defenses and stuff, understanding the game, and being more comfortable back there and operating the whole field.
And one of your top targets could be the guy on the end there, Emil Britt, a wide receiver and defensive back. Emil, tell us how you help the offense and Austin this season.
I think my speed and my quickness going to help him out a lot. How I can catch the ball and how I can run my routes a lot. And first, I also want to thank God. For real. I want to thank God. I want to thank my parents. I want to thank Coach P for everything that they helped me get through in life.
We appreciate you being with us this evening. Of course, the team we're going to talk to in a few minutes, your biggest rival, Bishop McCourt. How do you see that rivalry shaping up? Always a great thing for this team.
Always a special night for the city, you know what I mean? It's Bishop McCourt, Johnstown, throw the records out the window. Just different place each year, and it's always a battle, and we expect their best like every year.
And this team's ready, but they're going to face some tough competition coming up this season in the LHAC. For a closer look at that, let's take a look at some of those teams from the Lower Highlands. With Bishop Guilfoyle playing for a fourth straight state title, they remain the team to beat until a new contender rises up. Greater Johnstown enters the season having to replace several college-level playmakers. But with senior quarterback Austin Barber leading the way, Trojans are primed for another run.
A lot of them got a lot of experience, and it's nice that we're plugging them in the holes here. And I'm just really excited about how they could be right now, and excited about the work we can put in to get there.
For Bishop McCourt, the upcoming season will be about taking another step forward in the third year under head coach Brian Basile. He'll once again rely on the strength of his offensive and defensive lines.
Where can we go from there? So that was been our theme the whole off season, to see continuous improvement, be the best version of ourselves, and add more and more to what we've learned over the past 2 years.
The Richland Rams are another program that has undergone a few rebuilding campaigns. But with 19 starters returning, Brandon Bailey's program should continue to climb.
We just have great energy going into this year. We've always kind of been the team that's been kicked around the past couple of years, and every year's kind of been a building year. But now we have a lot of guys returning. We have a lot of guys who want to contribute and a lot of guys who want to win.
Westmont Hilltop won't be sneaking up on any of its competition this season. What you see is what you get from the Hilltoppers that look to run the ball and stop the run.
Our kids know that we're going to line up and we're going to punch in the mouth, and that's our identity and who we are.
With one of the top quarterback recruits in Pennsylvania, Forest Hills is primed for a big season. And junior Adam Cesari will have plenty of weapons at his disposal, which should translate to some big offensive numbers.
We've had a lot of district champions. I think this year that we're going to make some progress moving back towards the top of the league.
Somerset will continue its rebuilding project after enjoying several seasons in the state playoffs. Under Bob Landis, the Golden Eagles' strength will be found up front.
We lost a lot of athletes last year, but we have a lot of younger guys stepping up, playing their roles.
Central Cambria has a new head coach, and it is a familiar face. Former Penn State quarterback Shane McGregor is now leading his high school program.
Some of these guys I've known since they were 8th graders or even younger, from their older brothers and stuff like that. So we've got a good connection, and X's and O's and plays and all that stuff aside, it's really about the relationships you got to make a strong connection between the staff and the players.
Bishop Carroll also has a new direction. Former assistant Sean Billings has stepped up to take over the main job.
Yesterday, seeing freshmen wanting to compete and starting to compete with juniors and seniors, that's the nice thing, because whenever you have the whole team on that same compete level, it pays dividends on Fridays.
Bedford lost in the second round of the district playoffs in 2016, and they'll be relying on some underclassmen to carry the load this season. Penn Cambria will have a new but familiar face roaming its sidelines. Veteran coach John Franco is getting a fresh start with this young program.
We are a work in progress, and I give you all the cliches there that you want for that, but we're I love the attitude of the kids. I love how hard they've been working.
And at Cambria Heights, Jared Lewis is entering his 7th season. With 17 starters returning, the Highlanders could be a team ready to sneak up on the rest of the competition.
Because maybe of our proximity of where we're located, sometimes we fly under the radar, but that's okay with us. So these guys know that they have to come out and reprove themselves.
And we're now with one of the teams on the rise in the Laurel Highlands Conference, Bishop McCord. Head coach Brian Basile entering your 3rd season. You've done a lot of work in just a little bit of time. What has been the key to turning around this program?
Well, Jordan, I think it's being blessed with great student athletes that have really taken the program and raised it back up to another level and keep going. And the great support from the administration and the faculty and the student body have bought back in. Along with all the alumni.
And I know one of the strengths of the team this season will be the offensive line. Rich Phillips, you're a running back. Tell us what you look forward to this season, running behind so much of the experience as you'll have.
Yeah, we got some good returning linemen. It's good to run behind them. We got a young, athletic quarterback. We have some good receivers. So he'll have some nice targets to throw to. So I look forward to seeing how he does this year.
Thank you, Rich. And of course, defensively, there's a lot of teams in this conference that put up a lot of points. On the end there, he plays both ways. Zach Goins, you see him at tight end, also playing defensive end. What have you learned going into this season that'll help you this year?
Well, we got a lot of returning guys and a lot of young people ready to step up. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the young people are definitely ready to step up and play. So look for a good season.
And I have to ask you about the team that we just saw, Greater Johnstown High. Of course, the big rivalry game. Every year we're so excited about it here in Johnstown. What does that game mean, and how much do you guys look forward to that?
Well, last year when we came out in the Point Stadium and it was a packed house, it was just so exciting that, football on Friday nights is still the main show in Johnstown, and 2 great teams from right here in the city, along with all the other teams right around the city, just makes it very special.
Now, we can't wait for that one, and that one is also part of our McDonald's Friday Night Rivals coverage, so we'll have the game live this season on MeTV. Bishop McCourt, thanks for being with us this evening. We're going to dive into another conference up for grabs. Coming up, we'll talk some Westpac football. One of the teams that will be a top contender, the Portage Mustangs, are standing by. The 2017 kickoff special continues after this. That's Bishop McCoy joining us this evening. They'll have a lot to cheer about, as you just heard from the Crushers. All right, time now to talk about one of the longtime conferences in Western Pennsylvania. We call it the Westpac, and it'll have several top teams vying for the title this coming season. Brett Hilperan has been following this conference closely. He has more on what we can see this season in the Westpac. Hi, Brett.
Hi, Jordan. 2016 was all about parity in the Westpac. A lot of teams very even throughout the conference. 2017 will be about one thing: dominance. Maybe one team leading the way. Conemaugh Township grabbed the Westpac championship a year ago, and the Indians are looking to reload again this year.
We just got to keep on working hard. It fired us up, and we're just going to keep on working hard and try to get back where we were last year.
Portage will definitely be the team to beat in the Westpac this year. The Mustangs are setting the highest goals possible.
We want to go undefeated, don't expect anything less. We want to win Westpac, we want to win the Appalachian Bowl and make a run in the district championship.
But Berlin might have something to say about that. The Mountaineers have their eyes on another conference title and a deep playoff run.
We set success for us as a Westpac championship and a District 5 championship.
Myersdale's story this season is all about momentum. The baseball team state championship in June gives them the perfect boost to perform under the Friday night lights.
We're just going to filter it through with the kids that played baseball that are on the football team, and they're just going to carry the momentum.
Ferndale made a lot of noise last season that surprised a lot of people, but after a huge playoff victory a year ago, they're not sneaking up on anyone this go-round.
I feel like we can go a step beyond that. We just got to stay focused, not overlook anyone, just keep working hard.
It's been a while since we've seen Winburn in the postseason. The Ramblers plan to change that this year.
We've been really stepping it up this year, and I feel like, definitely this year, we have a really good chance of being something great.
Shade's been in the postseason 5 straight seasons. They're planning to make it 6.
We're very inexperienced. We only have 3 seniors returning, on the whole team, but they're very competitive.
New blood at Conemaugh Valley. Brian Bear replaces Tom Marshall as the head coach. The Blue Jays say they're ready for the conference grind.
We have good energy going into our season, and hopefully it can carry throughout the season.
Same deal at North Star. Wes Berkey-Bile is back for another stint in charge of the Cougars, who have some serious rebuilding to do.
And I think we're running a program that is going to cater to the athletes that we have.
Blacklick Valley won a single game last year. A new batch of senior leadership is out to make sure that doesn't happen again.
We have a lot more experience on the field. We have 9 starters, 9 defensive starters. So we should do a lot better than 1 and 9, hopefully.
To the Heritage Conference now, where Northern Cambria hopes Sam Schuette's first season in charge of the Colts brings them their first ever Heritage Championship.
All you can do is go out and play your best game, and I think if we do that, we can go undefeated.
United got into the playoffs last season, but fell short that first week. They hope their efforts in the off-season set them up for a nice postseason run.
We're not blessed with, great athletes. We're blessed with good athletes and great kids. That's going to be the key.
Back now with our guys from Portage. We have head coach Gary Gauss, Tom Randazzo, and then Zach Wiggins over here on my right. Coach, we're going to start with you. You are very excited about this season. You've been doing this at Portage for quite some time. This is maybe the best group you've ever had, or one of the best you've ever had?
Definitely is. 11 seniors on the team. Most of them are been there for 3 years starting. And we have just great leadership, and we're really excited about the season. So, we're pretty pumped in Portage.
Tell me a little bit about your goals. What are you hoping to accomplish with this team this year?
Definitely one of our goals is to win the Westpac, hopefully be undefeated, and play in the Heritage Championship game. That would be those are 2 goals, and then proceed on to the district championship game if that so desires. That's one of our goals.
Those are pretty high goals for you guys, Tom. As a player, when you hear that your coaching staff is really excited, how big is that for you guys?
Yeah, it just all means we're all in one. We all know our goal with the players, the coaches, the town, and the community. We all have one goal in mind, and it's just every day it's striving for that goal and take it week by week. Right now we're focused on township, and it's that's the mindset of practice today. That's how we'll be for the rest of the week.
And Zach, obviously you're going to take this week by week, game by game, but you do have some pretty big goals out there. How important is it for you guys as players to make sure that you kind of, accomplish these step by step, like you eat an elephant one bite at a time, so to speak?
Yeah, it's important to not get too ahead of ourselves. We want to take it week by week, try to pick up wins as we can and stay healthy. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, so we want to just go stay focused and take it slow.
Don't get too high, too low. And Jordan, right now, Portage may be one of the teams to beat in the Westpac, but Berlin might have something to say about that. You got the Mountaineers with you in Johnstown.
Yeah, Brett, there's no way we could have had Berlin and Portage in the same gymnasium this evening, so we split them up a little bit. They'll be two of the top contenders in the Westpac. The Mountaineers joining me now, head coach Doug Paul. Doug, you guys 9-3 last year, but the bar is so high that that's almost seen as a disappointment. How are you motivated this season?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. You know, a lot of teams, a lot of programs would love to look at his 9-win season as a little bit of a disappointment. But you know, we set our goals very high each year, and you know, Westpac championship, District 5 championship, and runner-ups in both last year. So we pushed the kids this offseason, really got after in the weight room, told them, you know, the schedule's going to be tougher this year. Teams are going to be better. We have to get better. So that's definitely motivated us this offseason.
And moving down the line here with us, quarterback Luke Brick. Luke, tell me about what you guys have gone through in this offseason to prepare, because we know that a Portage, a kind of a township, anyone can win this league, but you guys certainly working hard to do that.
Yeah, we've been lifting in the offseason and stuff like that. We went to a bunch of 7-on-7s that coach has put together for us, and every Wednesday we were there in the football field getting ready for this upcoming season.
And this conference, traditionally, you have to be able to run the ball and stop the run down there on the end. One of those guys that stops the run, linebacker Charlie Hirsch. Charlie, tell me how the defense is looking heading into this season.
You know, coming from last year, we got some starters returning. We've been stepping up, filling holes. It's all about intensity, and we just have to get after it.
And one more for head coach Doug Paul here. Tell us how kind of the schedule shapes up for you guys. Of course, you don't really get many weeks off in this conference, and you guys certainly come into every season with the X on your backs.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we like that though. You know, where teams are gunning for you each and every week, and big game Friday night already. You know, neighbor rival Marisdale. You know, sit 8-9 miles apart from each other. You know, huge game for us there Friday night to open up the season, and this year, you know, I see the Westpac Conference being a whole lot more competitive than what it's been in years past. You know, Ferndale's a team that's an up-and-coming team. You know, they're going to be very good this year. Wimber, Conemaugh Township, Marisdale. You know, I could go on and on. Shade. You know, there's no breaks, so we just got to take it 1 week at a time, and you know, just battle each week.
Yeah, this conference certainly getting stronger and stronger. Berlin, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and best of luck this season.
Hey, thank you, Jordan.
Absolutely. All right, so a lot more to get to coming up on our 2017 kickoff special. We are going to dive into the Mountain League, and there are some contenders in their conference. That's just ahead. Stay with us here on our kickoff special here on WJAC. We'll be right back. Johnstown cheerleaders provide the home field advantage here at Greater Johnstown. We thank them for helping us kick off our coverage this season. The Six Sports 2017 kickoff special rolls on here on WJAC, and it's time now to talk about the Mountain League, a league that produces several playoff contenders, and they should be right in the mix again this season. Carrie Osip has this conference covered for us. She joins us now to talk about some of those Mountain League teams. Hi, Carrie.
Hi again, Jordan. Yeah, the Mountain League is yet another competitive conference with one of its teams just a win away from making it to a state championship last year. And in 2017, we're looking to see maybe more teams in this league get that chance at the playoff run. But we're going to start right now with a look at the conference championship from a year ago. The Clearfield Bison will be without many key players from 2016, and this next year will make for one of the youngest squads Tim Janoko has ever coached. But they're returning good experience starting at quarterback as they look to reclaim that conference title.
For me, a really good chance to connect with the team and become more of a leader myself. So it's given me a real good chance to connect with all the players on a different type of level now that the older guys aren't there to do that.
Another top team in the Mountain League and District 6 champ is Central. The Dragons were a step away from making a trip to Hershey last year, and Dave Baker's team is returning key experience for another playoff run.
We have some players back from a team that played very well last year, won a district championship, and we would hope that that we can challenge for a league championship and challenge for a district championship.
In 2016, the Huntingdon Bearcats fell to Central and District semis, but with the return of All-State running back Ian Border, they're looking to attack defenses in a run for a D6 championship.
We got to come out week one, start playing as a team, no mistakes. I mean, that's what's going to help us get to this District 6.
Bellefonte is looking to build on a trip to the district playoffs after losing to Clearfield in the first round. The Red Raiders have been known for their defense, something they'll look to maintain while unveiling a new offense this season.
Definitely our offensive development. Everybody's starting to get the hang of things, and I think if we really get that down, we're going to be good.
Neighbors to Bellefonte, Bald Eagle is looking to continue improvements under year 2 of head coach Jesse Nagel. That experience is what they'll use in search of a winning record.
We're a lot more focused because we know what we're buying into and we're a little bit more comfortable with it. So I think we're just more focused on going and winning each week.
The Mounties ended last season on a high, breaking a 3-year losing streak. The taste of victory is motivation this young team will use to gain more wins this season.
I think that win at the end of the year, even though it was only one, I think kind of sparked a little bit of, okay, we put the time in, we can win. So these guys are focused. These seniors, they're ready to go. They're ready to play football.
Penns Valley is bringing a new team attitude to 2017. That began with summer workouts, and the Rams bring back good experience as they look to break 500.
We competed with every single team that we played, and that competition is really what's going to lead us to believe that we can actually achieve those goals.
To round out the Mountain League, we have the Golden Eagles, a team hit by injuries last season, holding them from finishing above 500 for the first time in over a decade. But Tyrone will be returning to the field with a new mindset to get back to their winning ways.
A lot of injuries stopped us from winning some games, so it's always the next man up. That's one of our key mottos.
And I'm now joined by Golden Eagles head coach Jason Wilson. And so we were just talking about that the injury bug was a bit of a challenge for you guys last year. But during that time of adversity, what did you learn from your players behind you?
Yeah, it was really good to get a lot of other guys' action and see how they do in game situations and throwing them basically into the fire in several different games and switching positions, getting to see guys at a lot of different places. And coaching-wise, we learned a lot about our coaching staff going through that time. So I think it's all beneficial that should help us this year going into this season.
Absolutely. And one of the players that's going to help you guys on offense is going to be Parker Mischel, one of the standouts at receiver. And Parker, I want to ask you, for your teammates, what do you think is the thing that makes this team the most special?
Everyone worked really hard in the offseason, so I'm really excited to see what happens this year.
Yeah, and then I got to ask you, Dan Peterson's next to you, the lineman. So, Dan, if you want to step over here really quick and just talk to me about the competition in the Mountain League. We know that it's pretty stacked, but what can you guys do to make sure that this team gets back on top?
I think we come out, play fired up, some Tyrone fast, physical, violent football, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and so this is your teammate, and they look pretty fired up right now, right? All right, so I'm going to toss it back over to Brett, who's standing side one of the Mountain League opponents that is a threat to everyone, the Central Dragons. So, Brett, over to you.
Thank you, Carrie, and I'm here with the man in charge of Central. We've got head coach Dave Baker. Coach, thanks for being here. You guys, impressive last year. How do you take some of that success that you had a season ago, build upon that with this new group, this new team?
Well, the younger players played, a lot of them played last year. A lot of them are coming up from junior high programs. They see what's happened with the older guys. They say, I think we can do that, or we're going to try to do that. And so it comes year after year with guys striving to do as good as the guys, before them. Now, whether they can do that is remains to be seen, but that's how they feel about it.
You have to replace some pretty incredible players. AAA Player of the Year, Alex Hohenstein last year. A lot of guys up front as well, a lot of seniors from that last class. How do you do that while also, maybe not changing the expectations that you have as a program?
Well, these other guys have worked very hard to get where they are. They're trying to do their best, and it's their team. We told them at the very beginning that they're not the defending champions. They are a team of their own, and they'll have to make their own way.
We got two-year captains and seniors here. We got Tyler Volkemer and Brandon Mock. Tyler, we'll start with you. You guys always seem to have a ton of size up front. What makes Central so good? Is it the offensive line, defensive line, and your ability to kind of be consistent there?
I feel like that our offensive line works very hard, and so does our defensive line, and the harder we work, the better we get.
Brandon, what do you guys do as players to make sure that you kind of keep the consistency that you guys have as a program year in and year out?
We're always lifting. We're always like working as a team. We don't always have like one player doing their own thing. We always come together, do that.
And Central, obviously, Jordan, they do a lot of things really well, and that's why they're good year in and year out. It was actually kind of fun. We had a little week 1 matchup here in the gym, Hollidaysburg Central. They get it going here in a couple days. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We'll send it back to you.
And we have much more to get to. We'll have more from Brett and Carrie. We're going to talk some inter-county conference. A lot of teams ready to get at it and get their season started this Friday. Our 2017 Six Sports Kickoff Special continues after this. The Greater Johnstown High School cheerleaders providing some sights and sounds of high school football here in Western and Central Pennsylvania. It all gets started this Friday night. Now, the Inter-County Conference, they had some big-time playmakers last season, some top contenders, and it's going to be closely decided once again this season. For more on the ICC, we're going to send it back to Brett Hiltbrand. He has a look at some of the top teams.
Who can take out Bellwood? Really, that's the question every year with the ICC, and this season no different. Lots of teams think, though, that this might be the year they take down the King. You got to start with Bellwood Annis if you want to talk ICC football. The defending champs, unbeaten in conference play a year ago.
Go out, give it our all, do as best we can, go 10-0 in the regular season, and see what we can do in playoffs.
Moshannon Valley was the only team in the ICC to score double digits against Bellwood a year ago.
People are doubting us, and it just drives us. I mean, Coach Keith has been great to all of us, and we're ready to go.
Expectations are high for Juniata Valley, 7-5 last season, but a playoff victory at home took this program to the next level.
Certainly a deeper run would be great. It's something we definitely are going to strive to. For them to state that means they're willing to put in the time and the effort.
Blaisburg-Kimmel started 2016 0-4. That won't happen this year.
My first 2 years, we had a decent amount of sophomores and even a couple freshmen starting and contributing. This year, we're more of a veteran football team.
Don't forget about Southern Huntington. 16 lettermen returned for Ryan Garlock. 500 got them into the playoffs a year ago, but that won't do this season.
We got a lot of skilled guys coming back, a lot of linemen coming back, a lot of guys spending a lot of time working out over the summer too, so I think we're good with that.
Mount Union ended the season a year ago with a 5-game losing streak. Made the playoffs, but that trip didn't last very long. They hope leadership takes them to the next level.
We struggled towards the end last year a lot. We have a few skilled guys coming back, and I think the guys coming up will be better.
Northern Bedford is always competitive and seems bound for the playoffs again this year.
We still have some guys coming back this year that bring a lot to the table, and a lot of guys that are new this year, we expect a lot out of them.
Everett was in almost every game last year, but they graduated 14 seniors. Underclassmen will have to make a big impact.
You know, they're the youngest team we've ever had at Everett High School. So the thing is keeping them together through the long haul, because I'll probably be starting 3 or 4 freshmen.
Williamsburg made the postseason last year, but their playoff dreams ended with an upset at home.
The players saw what it takes, what it takes to be successful, what it takes to win some games.
West Branch won the final game of their season a year ago, a big boost to a team that needed some confidence.
I think we're a lot more motivated than last year. We really want to get out there, and we all love football.
Tussey Mountain managed just a single victory last season. Improvement, the name of the game for this squad.
We want them to be more aggressive, both on the offensive and defensive side. That's something we've lacked the last 2 years and shown on the field.
Tussey Mountain's only win last year was against Glendale. The Vikings couldn't manage a victory last season.
We've had more energy at practice, new offense, new defense. Everything's looking up for us.
Bellwood has only lost 4 games in the ICC in the last 10 years. Let's talk Altoona football right now. The Mountain Lions went 2-8 a year ago. It's always an uphill battle in the WPIAL. You don't get any weeks off. They finished 2016 on a 6-game losing streak, so that team obviously extra motivated. And Carrie, you got a lot of motivated teams up in the north with you as well. We'll send it over to you at State College.
Yes, Brett, we can't forget about our teams up north as well as those teams that don't have a conference. And now we'll take a look at those teams and what kind of strides they made over this last season, especially the team that made the biggest. In the Allegheny Mountain Southern Division, District 9 champs Ridgeway Johnsonburg will look to ride the momentum from a state quarterfinal run into 2017. The challenge will be replacing graduated talent.
You have to fill those positions, maybe the younger kids such as the sophomores, and you need the seniors to step up and lead them.
Elk County Catholic faced Ridgeway Johnsonburg in the district final, and this young team has already put in hard work in the summer to have another shot at the title.
We've been hitting well. We've been running our plays well, and we've all been dedicated in the weight room in the offseason.
Brockway put up a 7-1 conference record with key wins over both the Crusaders and Elkers. They'll look to continue beating expectations in 2017.
We did lose a decent amount of seniors that were really good last year, so I'd say just because of that we're looked as an underdog, but that's okay. That just fuels our fire, so they can look at us as an underdog. We'll just come from behind and get them.
To round out the AML South is Kerwinsville. They'll continue their ground game dominance with senior back Nick Stewart, who will look to shatter tied records this season.
We have like the top 3 running backs in D9 history, and that's always what stands out to me. I'm blessed to be a running back.
Representing the North Division in the AML, Cameron County doesn't boast a lot of numbers with only 23 players, but the second-year coach, Scott Burnside, is making sure his players are a step ahead with better endurance.
I think we've improved a lot on that, and I think we can improve our record just because we're conditioned. I think we're going to give full effort all the way into the 4th quarter this year.
To the Keystone Shortway Conference, St. Mary's is looking to build on a district playoff appearance, and with a lot of numbers but not much experience, the Flying Dutchman will look to their seniors to lead the effort.
The kids that are coming back are going to take everybody underneath, and it's not going to be any different. Everybody's going to be all one team. We're not a bunch of juniors, seniors. We're all just one team.
Brookville is a team known for airing it out on offense. If they balance that in the run game and step up on defense, they could be on their way to a winning record in 2017.
There's always room for improvement, can always get better. So we'll see how we progress this week going into Friday night's game.
Punxsutawney Chucks are bringing back good experience on both sides of the ball in 2017, starting up front, a strength they'll rely on this season.
Most of those guys are seniors, and they've had 3 years to build on their strength and build on their understanding of the offense, and you're seeing that out on the field.
In District 10, Region 5, DuBois played consistently last year, making a playoff run, but will be under a new coach this season. Justin Marshall is getting a strong senior class experience that could force another postseason push.
Very talented players coming back this year, and we kind of have a goal to win a couple of playoff games this year, which hasn't been done here in a long time.
Now to our independent teams, Chestnut Ridge may not belong to a conference, but it's still a threat on opponents' schedules, and with over 20 returning starters, things look bright for the Lions.
But now, since we're older, we know what to expect. We know that we've been through everything. We just need to get better and push these younger kids to be the best they can be.
Finishing out with St. Joseph's Academy, a team not about numbers, but about the heart. The Wolves believe this is their year to make it to the postseason after falling a few points shy in 2016.
1 or 2 more games, we could have made it. So I think this is the year we can. Odds are in our favor this year, and that's the big goal I want to see for this team. I want to get their first playoff experiences for the guys who haven't been here before and for the guys who have been here before.
A lot of good things to come for our northern teams and independent teams this season, and maybe expect some more playoff runs from these teams. But now I'm going to hand it over to the Tyrone cheerleaders to take us out.
Marching band bringing us some of the sounds of the season this evening. One of our favorite segments is back for a second year in a row. Pick Six, sponsored by Laura Hyundai. It's where we get to break down all of the big games every Thursday at 6 o'clock in 6 Sports. Joining me now, we bring back Brett Hopebrand and Carrie Osip for some final thoughts on the season in one of our Pick Six preview segments. How's it going?
Jordan, obviously, I love what Doug Paul, the head coach of Berlin, said about the Westpac. Everybody is going to be really, really good. Carrie, it's going to be an outstanding season.
And you two both know how much I love my Mountain League teams and my teams out this way. But I think we're going to see a lot of new teams step up in teams like I talked about. So I'm excited to see what teams make strides this season.
Yeah, we can't wait to get started. I just want to remind you, I won the Pick Six last year in our first season just by one game, so the margins are very thin. All right,
I don't know
two-a-days,
that
6 Sports two-a-days. We've been to 58 schools during this season, and they are all posted on our website, on our Fan Zone site. You can check them out there anytime on our Fan Zone site. We want to thank everyone that has been involved in the broadcast this evening, all our bands, cheerleaders, coaches, players and teams. We also want to thank McDonald's for being a big part of our production of high school sports and our coverage throughout the season. It's shaping up to be a big time season in Western and Central Pennsylvania. So to get things going, we are going to finish up this evening by taking another listen to the Hollidaysburg Marching Band as they bring us the sights and sounds of high school football in Pennsylvania. Thanks so much for being with us. We can't wait to see you this coming season.